So a little while ago I tested out a time-lapse camera for a company called Technaxx, and it was a really good bit of kit, really solid engineering. It was German made and it was absolutely a fantastic bit of kit and did exactly what it said on the tin for time lapses. So the guys from Technaxx have contacted me again, and this time they've sent me this bird feeder cam, and it looks like a real good bit of fun. I mean, it's very much based on the principles of wildlife cameras, but it's a little mini wildlife camera which is mounted into the actual bird feeder, and that way, you know, you can catch the birds coming into the feeder and get some really good images from it. So that's the idea of this thing. So my plan today is I'm going to open the box, have a look what's in there, and then we're going to set this thing up in the garden and then leave it out for a little while, capture some images, and then come back and review the images and the video and see what we get from it. So before we start, what we can see is it's a full HD video, 1080p video. It's got a 20 megapixel camera on it. It's got LEDs for infrared, for night vision. It's got a little microphone built into it. You know, you guys know I'm not a techie guy. I'll just give you the outline of it. You can go and look it up and see if and I'm going to put a link into the Amazon page below if you're interested in it, and you can check it out there as well. So yeah, it just looks like a fun bit of kit, to be honest. So we're actually going to unbox it, have a look what's in here, and then actually I think probably we're going to try and mount it on the fence. We'll see what mountings are in here, but my idea is we'll probably put it up on the fence and see if we can capture some birds coming into it. So let's start unboxing it and see what we can find. So first of all, inside, something that the guys don't read. It's an instruction manual. We might need to look at that at some stage, but you guys know normally we don't use instruction manuals. Let's just put these things out of the way so they don't get blown away for now. Keep the place tidy. So here's the bird feeder. It's got the camera built into it, so we can actually see the camera in there, and that's looking out at the birds. It's got a really short focal distance on it, so that's going to help to focus on the birds just as they're flying into this thing, so we can actually see where it is. And then the idea is you put the seed inside, this comes apart, we fill it with seed, the birds will come in. There's a little water tray in the front of here as well, so the birds can actually have a drink if they want as well. I can hear I've got some goldfinches up in the tree, so hopefully we're going to get some of those in later. But yeah, it's a nice sturdy bit of kit, simple, as I say, like all these things, does what it says on the tin. It's got a couple of mounting points here, and I think you put a strap through here and you can hang it here. So it's got various ways of actually mounting the thing and actually seeing what we do with it. In here we've got a USB cable. So the USB cable is just for connected to the computer, so we can either download the images or you know, we can just view them on the computer. Got a little packet of screws and some rule plugs so we can fit it to the wall by the looks of it. And then we've got various mounting devices. So this one here, it looks like a wall mount, so we can wall mount it there, fix the bird box onto here, and then we can hang it up wherever we want. This is quite nice. This is actually a little clamp. So this little clamp you can see here, you can open this up and then just clamp that around a bar or something. So if you've already got like a bird feeder up or something, you can actually just clamp this onto the bar of the bird feeder and actually mount it there. That's quite a neat bit of kit. And then we've got the strap. So the strap is basically, we can wrap it around a tree or around a post or whatever, just to actually tie it in, goes round through the back of the bird feeder and then round whatever we want to fix it to. So that's quite a useful bit of kit as well. And then finally, a little packet of batteries. So yep, comes with the batteries. The only thing this thing doesn't come with, you need a micro SD card, which they don't supply. Fortunately, I've got one from when I did the test with their time-lapse camera, so I've already dropped that into the camera already, so we can use that when we get going. Other than that, you've got everything you need. You know, it's really set to go. We'll get the batteries in it, we'll set it up, and we'll have a quick look at the menu and just see what we can do with this thing. So the first thing is, on the back of here, there's a couple of little clips, and we just slide those clips, turn those clips around, and then what we find is that the camera itself will just pop out. So we can take the camera out, and also just out the back then the actual feeder part of the bird feeder slides out as well. And this has got like a little clip on the bottom, so that as we fill it with feed, then it just holds it in until we've got it all in position. Then we drop that, and that will release all the seed out into the tray for the birds to feed. So we're just going to put the batteries into this to start off with. And as I say, I've already put a little micro SD card in the bottom, so that's all sitting in there all ready to go as well. Just close this up, and hopefully we can find a switch to turn it on. I guess probably we don't want to close it up yet. Yep, here we go. So here's a test switch here. So this test switch, I would assume, yeah, it's all lit up. So we've got Technaxx lighting up on the front of there, and then we've got a menu popped up for setting it up. So we're just going to set it up. So see how we do this. So we've got some buttons down here, menu buttons with up, down, etc. And we're just going to select time, date, country, and everything else on there to set that up. So within the menu, I'm not quite sure whether you can see that out here, there are various options in there, and that's actually going to give us, we can set our photo resolutions, and we can set what we want. So we can set 20 megapixels, we can set, I think it's 16 megapixels. You can go down with lower megapixels on the photos. You can increase the video length. We've got slow motion we can select there. We can select whether we want just photos, just video, or whether we want to take a photo and a video. One thing I find with these sort of things is when you're taking a photo and a video, sometimes the video kicks in too late. So it'll take the photo, but then sometimes you've sort of missed the action on the video. So I quite like to set these sort of things just to video to try them out. But we'll give it a play and see what happens when we set it up and see how good it is. So what I'm going to go through is just go through, set this up, see where we want everything, see what we want on the menu, and I'm going to try and get some slow motion stuff as well. It's going to take a little while. We're going to have to set this up, put it out, leave it out, and just see what happens. It says the batteries last 6 months. Whether they do or not, I'm not sure, but we'll just see what happens with that and see where it goes to. But yeah, let's get this thing on the go. Let's get the menu how we want it, and then we'll really got to get it up on the fence. That's going to be the main thing next. I'm just going to put a bit of a mixture in here. I think mix up a bit of seed with some mealworms. I'm not going to put too much in just to start off. I'm just going to try it really and see what happens. So, here we've just got some sunflower seeds, goldfinch's favourites. We're going to mix a few mealworms into there as well. Mix them up. Drop those in the other side. that's it. Let's go and put it back in the feeder. Well, that's it. Bird feeder's set up, seed in each side, a drop of water in the water bowl at the front, camera's on, probably photographing me at the moment, and we'll just see what happens. Hopefully we're going to get some birds land on here, and then we're going to get some nice images and some nice video of them. So let's see what happens. So it took a few days for the birds to get used to the new feeder. The first day I don't think there was hardly anything on there, but then they started to get used to it. The first time I put it out, I had it set to capture an image and then actually record some video. And the images aren't too bad. I mean, they're never going to be as good as a DSLR, but it's just really, you know, you're just trying to find out what's going on and what birds are visiting the feeder really. So for the video recording for the first few days, we just had it set on normal speed and to record in full HD basically. And as you can see, it's recording okay. The big issue I had, and this is not the camera's problem, but most of the birds coming into our garden tended to be large birds. You can see this black bird on here, and the issue with that is that they're reaching from the perch towards the camera, and that's actually taken them out of focus a little bit because they're just too close to the camera. But it's still capturing some good stuff. What I have noticed as well is you really do have to make sure you position it in the right place. You can see with some of these clips that the bright background is really affecting the image, and that's my fault again. You know, you've got to think about the normal photography lighting techniques and make sure this subject is lit properly. But I'm going to learn. You can see here, even at normal speed, it's actually capturing the birds in flight quite well as well. So it's quite interesting to see that as the starlings come onto the perch. And it's pretty robust. I mean, we've got 3 starlings here fighting on the perch. So, and it's holding up quite well. So I'm really pleased about that. You can actually see when they sit back on the perch, we get some decent video. And when they're hovering, I mean, you get some really good images as they're sitting there. Here, it actually turned into night mode. We actually captured, I think, this robin just as it went dark. So you can see the night mode works quite well. The way I'd actually got it set up, I'd get it set up on the timer, so it only recorded mainly during the day between certain hours. And that's quite good because you can reduce the number of clips you're getting and the amount of capacity you're putting onto the card as you're recording. So here, a few days later, we actually put it into slow motion version. And you can see some quite nice images. I mean, there's 2 ways of doing slow motion. You can either just select slow motion on the camera, or you can select, say, 60 frames per second or 100 frames per second. And I think if you look at this image now, that's recording 60 frames per second. So you can see some really good detail in the birds as they're flying. Again, this one's sitting right back on the perch, so he's actually quite good. He's actually, you know, he's not lit very well, but he's actually standing out quite well and actually in focus quite well as well. And it is quite sharp, you know, once they're in the right place, it's quite sharp. It took a few days for the actual goldfinches to start to feed on it. You know, they were a bit careful to start off with. And again here you can see I didn't get the lighting right, so the goldfinch is quite dark. Look at this starling coming in. This was filmed in 60 frames per second, so that was a starling flying into the perch, and these two having a bit of a battle. And the goldfinch, here we've got it in a bit better light. I think towards the end of the video we've got some really good light on it, so that's a lot better. But you can see the colours in the goldfinch, and you can see them eating, and you can see, it's great to just watch the, what they're doing, how they're interacting and everything else. As I say, it's not going to be a DSLR quality or a mirrorless quality, but it is good fun. It's a great fun bit of kit to watch these birds. For me, it's a great bit of kit and a great bit of fun. It's just what I expected, really, and I'm not expecting massive quality, and the quality is pretty good if you get it right. But it's just showing how the birds are interacting with you in the feeders. Absolutely great, and you can see what's coming into the garden. You can see a lot of this, how the light levels are changing day on day. So as I say, you've really got to think about the real lighting techniques you use in photography. This goldfinch here looks great though. It's just captured the light quite nice. So that completes the review of the Technaxx bird feeder camera. As I say, great fun bit of kit, and certainly worth giving it a go. So if you like the video, it'd be great to get a thumbs up from you. And if you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe. We don't do too many reviews. A lot of it's out and about and just filming wildlife and seeing what we come up with. Check out some of my other videos for some of that. And hopefully I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.